100. So it's both public and like lightweight vehicles and heavyweight vehicles. So the combustion of fuels which we use in vehicles is major contributing factor to air pollution, and specifically in India, 2/3 of the death is attributed to the exhaust emission from diesel vehicles. So it's mainly the 2/3 of the death is caused by diesel vehicles, the emission which you get from diesel vehicles, based on the study published by Lancet Planetary Health Journal. And moreover, these deaths are merely caused by inhaling the air. You don't see, like, we just think it's nothing because you don't see people dying on the spot. However, if you inhale those air, you're more vulnerable to dying. Maybe it's going to take much more longer period, but you're more vulnerable. And the most vulnerable parties are infants. And according to the State of Global Air 2020 report, in 2019, 116,000 infants in India died within the first month of being born, often a direct correlation of mother's exposure to air pollution during pregnancy. So one of the ways that we can combat the above issue is through sustainable transportation. However, there are many modes of sustainable transportation. First, that we can implement in Kargil, and we can implement, it has already been implemented. I talked to Mr. Khadim that the cleaner fuel standards, because in 2020 in April in India, all the vehicles that are sold has to be complied with the Bharat State 6 emission standards. The Regional Transportation Office in Ladakh can implement the BS6 standards, which has already been implemented, they can eliminate those vehicles that does not meet the BS6 standards, or ensuring the replacement of the engine to meet the BS6 standards. Because the policy has already been done, but you need to to not issue the license for the vehicles that does not meet the BS6 standards. However, it's not implemented in the ground level yet, and I hope that it gets implemented. And so if I can later, I don't want to take everyone's talk, I can talk about what are these BS6 standards emissions. Okay, sorry. And then about electric bus or electric vehicles, it's the best alternative for the normal public transportation to have electric bus or EV vehicles. However, it's not feasible in Kargil. So now why it's not feasible? Because these vehicles needs an infrastructure like public charging points, which cost around 50 lakhs to 1.5 crores. That may not be feasible now. However, if the government provides subsidies to have these kind of transportation, it may be. However, but in Kargil there is an electricity issue. So how are you going to charge those vehicles, because you need a huge amount of energy to charge these vehicles. So for now, it may not be a feasible transition to move to EV or EC for now. However, the feasible transition for sustainable, which we can adapt in Kargil, is bicycle. Like, I'm pro for it, and I want everyone to ride the bicycle. So why I would say that, because biking is the most efficient and earth-friendly transportation due to its combination of using your body and energy. It not only reduces your carbon footprints, but also provide health benefits. So and it's easier to implement compared with other transportation infrastructure. You don't have to spend millions to have like few public bike sharing scheme in Kargil. And you are not going to also face this huge issue related to being stuck in the what do you call it? Sorry.
Traffic.
Yeah, in the traffic, sorry. Yeah, and the fifth one is e-scooters, because I got to know, because yesterday I was discussing with people here, and they talk about how we can carry, if you are going for a grocery, like it's going to be heavy weighted, how we're going to carry that on the bicycle, how we're going to shop if we're going to have to carry 5 or 6 bags. So of course the solution for 5 or 6 may be e-rickshaw. However, for Kargil, I don't think so it's feasible. We can talk about it, you guys can ask me a question about it. But for e-scooter, why it's more feasible? Because it's advantageous both in terms of environment, because no local emission, and also price perspective, because it's much easier and cheaper to maintain. The maintenance cost is easier for e-scooters. And the government in India has already provided subsidies for normal scooty for students. I think I'm correct on it, yeah? So why not to provide subsidies for e-scooters? And bank also should give loans for students or the people to have like e-scooters because it's more eco-friendly. And in that, people who have to shop or people who have to go grocery shopping, they can at least, you don't need to do grocery shopping for 1 month, yeah? You can do it for like 10 days or 1 week, and you can put that in the e-scooter, so it's feasible, and also you don't have to use so much energy. So yeah, I think that's the best, another alternative. You're so opposed to bicycle. And the last is walking. Okay, it's very cheap. You just need to use your feet, yeah? You don't have to, it doesn't cost you. So I would really suggest, because for the younger generation here and the higher authorities, like if you are going to a place where it takes you just 20 minutes by walk, and instead of taking a car that takes you 5 minutes, you should always adapt for walking, because it's good for your health and also good for your environment. You're reducing your carbon footprint, and it's high time we as an individual understand the need for protecting our environment. And in Kargil, it's really beautiful. Whenever I come here in summer, I always appreciate the mountains here and the greenery. And you can see the star, but now you can't see here in Kargil, but maybe you can see in Parkachik. However, there also you can see how the global warming has impacted our glaciers. So it's high time you as a youngster, it's high time that you do some action towards protecting your environment. And it starts with you guys, because if you don't create, you are the change maker. Because if you don't, you just think like, okay, I will just go by car. If you don't walk and you don't see people, you have to show people that, yeah, I can walk 20 minutes. And because of you, then there will be your two friends who will be like, okay, let's just go by walk. So this is how you're going to create a change. So in the nutshell, the government needs to provide proper infrastructure. Now, I can talk about walking and bicycle, but there needs to be pathways for that, cycling pathways. I know, like just a lane, I know it may not cost, the cost must not be like how EV and EC vehicles can cost. Like please, a simple pathway, and please like a public bike sharing. Like it's my utmost request here, because high time we must implement these things. And because in 2004 it was implemented in only 11 countries, public bike sharing scheme. Now it is implemented in 50 countries. Now it's high time that Kargil and India also, it has implemented major cities, and Kargil should implement this bike scheme. And moreover, leaving your car at home and taking more sustainable mode of transportation will provide benefits not only to yourself, but to the city also. So that's all. I'm open for questions.